welcome to another edition of False Nine. My name is Byron. I am your host. I am here with the myth, the man, the legend, Mr. Mark. Did I say that right? I don't even know anymore.
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's False Nine. It's what we do. Okay, so loaded loaded potato today. We will start with the, review of the New England Revolution versus Inter Miami. It was a 4-1 result. Tell us what you saw in the game.
I guess we'll just start at the top with the lineup, and we'll work our way down and into the game. A game that Inter Miami kind of had to win, so I expected a full lineup from Mascherano, and we pretty much got what I think is going to be the starting lineup heading into the playoffs, minus Rocco and goal and replacing with Ustadi, but I think it's our best back four with Ian Frey, Allen, and Falcon, and then Jordi Alba. Then you have the midfield in a flat 4-4-2 with DePaul in the middle with Busquets, and then flanked by Baltasar and Allende. And then Messi roams as a 10 and Suarez up top. I think that's Mascherano's ideal lineup heading into the playoffs or for game one of the playoffs.
Okay.
So, and I really don't have any criticism for it other than maybe I still feel Yannick Bright should be a starter for this team.
So who would you remove and where would you put him?
I think you can remove, or if you were to remove someone, it would be one of the wing players, either Rodriguez or Allende, and replace and put a flat midfield three of Bright, Busquets, and DePaul, and then Messi on the right, and then Allende or Baltasar on the left, and Suarez down the middle.
Okay.
That's or Segovia for that matter. Whoever he chooses, but I think this is as close as to what Mascherano wants, and this is what these are the guys he backed and the guys he wants. So minus maybe Noah Allen, who wasn't in his plan initially, but he played himself into it, and then you throw in Lujan, of course, who is always a Mascherano guy, and Segovia, who are Mascherano guys. So we'll see. But yeah, going into this game against a very weak New England Revolution team, you kind of just saw it from the jump. We're in Miami, we're just really on the front foot and dangerous and trying to really get a goal or two before anything happened. Then you force Matt Turner into some saves. Allende was getting to good spaces. His touch was there. He was able to turn in tight spaces and find some quality shots. Messi was trying to find shots. Suarez was, drifting wide and then allowing Alba to get in. And Baltasar was, tucking into relief pressure from the back. And, the first real attempt comes from New England off a set piece that Brandon Bai gets his head on. It goes off the post and it doesn't go in. And then Miami kind of just controlled the tempo from there, where we see Alba pick up the ball in the midfield after an interception. He turns, he finds Messi. There are three defenders three center backs for for the Revolution, just kind of all eyes on Messi, and Allende has a wide open, path to goal. Messi plays him in, and he takes a great shot, low driven away from the keeper, and he puts in the back of the net, and I think that was a great confidence booster for him. I felt he had a great, great feel for the game and a good understanding of what his role was. If Messi picks up the ball in the middle, just make that diagonal run, make that forward run. Messi's going to find you, and Messi found them. Inter Miami up 1-0, and I felt it was a well-deserved one-goal lead for Inter Miami. And then, they just kind of kept the pressure on. New England really couldn't find anything going with Carlos Hill in the middle. Polster really couldn't get anything going. Campana was just not really a threat. And then Inter Miami kind of engages press led by Jordi Alba in like the 45th minute plus 2, where he caused Turner to clear the ball very lackadaisical, and Messi ends up finding the ball at his feet. Body feints, drops the shoulder, plays it across to Alba. He kind of lets it roll, delays a second, and he puts it by Turner, and Inter Miami up 2-0. And it just culminates how Inter Miami played that first half, what they were able to do, what they weren't able to do, but it felt like everything was just going their way. So a 2-0 lead going to halftime, you're sitting pretty comfortable against this team.
So much for that Campana brace we had predicted.
Yeah, just a real non-factor, and just New England, just not a very good team. So was I surprised that Campana didn't get a goal? I think no, not really. There wasn't anything that he did that said, "Oh, that's the Campana of old," or if he had any real shots on target.
Very. Would you say he was very just kind of going through the motions?
Yeah, there was nothing there for him, for New England. Just they played the game, nothing really for it.
90 minutes of running around getting cardio.
For Campana, yeah, that's what it felt like.
Okay, so strong first half. What did you see in that second half?
Second half was, a little slower than the first half, I would say, for periods of time. As New England score a goal as Dor Turgeman receives the ball on the left, kind of nutmegs oncoming Falcon, who steps up, tries to make a play on it, just touches it between his legs and curls it past Rocco, which he had no chance. A great shot, great goal by them. And then right after that, as the camera's still on them celebrating, or the camera's still panning to the goal, and we're showing the replay, Inter Miami are celebrating a goal, and what is going on?
I was going to
And we see
say that
yeah,
response from Inter Miami, immediate response.
yeah, and I always say a 2-goal deficit or a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in sports and in soccer, and because with any goal, it could be the turn. The ties could turn very quickly. Inter Miami didn't let that happen. Didn't give a chance to let that happen. Messi finds the ball at the halfway line. He plays a ball into space where Allende makes a great run off the shoulder of the defender. Is able to get in front and in position, takes a touch, brings it down, takes his touch into the path of goal, and he scores. That's an improvement by Allende in all aspects of that goal, with the touch, with the finish, and being calm in front of the net. Something we really haven't seen a lot of the time. And he had a great game, in my opinion. Um, so credit to him for finishing it off, and credit to the team for just picking up the ball and restarting it and finding a goal. And after that, it was Inter Miami all the way.
Yeah, so I was
Jordi
going to
Alba,
say,
yeah,
you think Allende really has turned his form around in terms of his form earlier, where it was really, really poor, and then he's had a strong couple of last games. Kind of what your thoughts are on where his form, where it was, and where it is at the moment.
I think his form is turning for the best. We definitely see that with his goal production and him able to put the ball in the back of the net. I think it's just going to be very key for him to keep this up and to build on it game by game heading into the playoffs. Because come the playoff time, you're going to need all hands on deck. We know this team is Messi or die, and if it can become where Messi is able to have a three assist game and no goals, but these guys are able to finish these chances off, it's great for Inter Miami, because now you have the trust in these guys to put these goals away, to help Messi, and to help the team. It's what we brought these guys in for.
So Inter Miami had at this point it was a 2-0 lead. New England scores, and then they go right back, answer that goal, and restore that 2-goal lead once again. But they kept that pressure on, and it led to another goal scoring opportunity they converted.
Yeah, Telasco Segovia's first sub off the bench, and he comes in for Baltasar Rodriguez. His first touch on net, on goal, or his first touch in the game, excuse me, is a pass to Jordi Alba, who kind of plays the ball into his path into the penalty area, lets the ball roll, lets the defender slide by, without doing anything, and he puts it past Turner for a fourth one. And Jordi Alba, credit to him. His form for the last 2 months 2.5 months, has been incredible. Aside from Messi, he's been our second best player of the entire season, I would say.
I would agree.
And he's just lighting it up right now, getting forward, making those forward runs, getting to position. And defensively, when he's asked to track back, he tracks back, he recovers the ball. He's barking orders. So I feel like Jordi Alba's really hit this stride of really good football.
So, and just to go off on a small tangent here, I would agree with you that he really has been the second best player. Given the news that was broken later on in the week, what do you think happened? What given his great form, what do you think? And given the announcement of an extension, what do you think led to that announcement? Surprise announcement.
I'm just as surprised as you. I'm not sure. I don't know if he had a change of heart, if he didn't want to play anymore. But he looks like he can play another 2-3 years, honestly.
Right.
I really don't know. It's behind the scenes stuff that I don't think we'll ever get the truth to or the clarity of. I'm not sure. I wish I can pinpoint it to one thing, but his play has been remarkable. His family's here. He's enjoying playing here. I don't know.
And that news came on the heels of another retirement, but that one seemed a lot more logical, I guess, is what I guess the proper word there would be.
Yeah, with Busquets, there's I think it was time for him. He could probably play another year if he wanted to. But he kind of just felt it was time to hang up the boots, and he's had an illustrious career and won everything. He won a World Cup, won a Champions League. He's won La Liga. He's won he's won every trophy there is to win as a professional footballer. And
was he on that Spain squad?
He was on that
okay.
Spain squad. He's won everything you can possibly think of. He's had he redefined the role that the position he plays. Being probably arguably the best passer from a deep lying center mid position.
Mm-hmm.
And is coaching in his future? I think so. Does he want to get to it right away? I don't think so, but he probably wants to take time with his family and just sit back for a little bit and enjoy retirement. And he has every right to do so.
So 4-1 victory, 3-goal victory. Overall feeling on just to kind of put a bow on the game.
I think it was a great, strong performance by Inter Miami. Something that was needed, with the playoffs looming. You want to see this team build some sort of camaraderie that hasn't been there all season. And I'm a big, thinker of if a team gets hot heading into the playoffs and can build momentum, they're going to be a dangerous out. And if this team can build momentum, which they really haven't at all this season, and they can play as a unit, things can go well for them. But it's like I always tell you, it's time to strap up, lace up, and play. No one's gonna hand it to you. You got to go out and take it.
Well, there's only one person that is a proven just lace up the bootstraps and kind of go get it player on this team. Despite there's two of them, despite the thought that there may be a handful, maybe about 5, but in reality, there's only 2. I would argue that it's Messi and Alba. I don't think Busquets can do it anymore. We were promised Suarez and De Paul, but I don't think those guys have shown me anything to inspire confidence in them going and getting a game if Messi's not 100%. Your thoughts on that?
No, I agree with you. Messi not 100% is going to be a very, very difficult game for Inter Miami. And when I say 100%, not on his game. We need him to be involved in, have goal involvements. It's that simple. Whether he's scoring or assisting, and these other guys need to put them away.
Okay, so quick bow on this game: 3 points, 4-1 victory. Then up next this Saturday, we have our great friends from up north, just a little bit up north, not a lot, in Atlanta United, the team that knocked us out of the playoffs last season with Mr. Potato Head himself popping all of his pieces out and stopping every single goal Mr. Brad Guzan. What, given the position in Miami is in, where they basically there is no resting on laurels because they don't have any. There is no supportership. What do you expect from this team needing to kind of keep pace?
I think that, I mean, Inter Miami are kind of almost locked into that needing a victory from two or need a point from two, or I think it's 3 from 2 to lock in that third position. I think they can do it. This Atlanta team is really reeling, but every time they face Inter Miami, for some reason, they just turn into this juggernaut of a team that I don't know
Correct.
why. Look, we have a lot of players out. We have important players out for this game, but it seems like, Messi's not going to play against Venezuela tomorrow, so he may be available.
Every report I've read says he's not.
So that leads that some people are thinking he may be available for selection for that game on Saturday, and it helps because their next game against Puerto Rico for Argentina is here at Chase Stadium, I believe. They got moved from Chicago, so if Messi's able to play and we're able to get a win, then that national game won't really mean a lot. But we're also missing.
The rumor is that they're honoring Jordi Alba.
Yes, they are. They're doing it. Yeah.
And I don't think Messi was going to miss that for anything on this.
That could have something. Yeah, that could have something to do with it as well. So we're missing Segovia, missing Noah Allen, but we're missing Ian Frey, who got the Jamaica call up. So we'll probably have Lujan, Falcon, Alba, Ustadi, Weigant as your back line. Then
I feel like we'll always have Grandpa.
Then you have Yannick Bright and Busquets as your double pivot with Messi as your 10, then Allende and Baltasar and Suarez up top. So, pretty much status quo if Messi's able to play and go from there.
So, what you expect to see a lineup similar to the one that you saw against New England?
Something like that, yeah. Because
okay.
I think, yeah.
Okay. Do you expect them to play with the same pep in their step that they played in the first half? Because we saw that the second half was a little slower in terms of pace, but still able to create chances even at that slower pace. Do you expect them to see first half where they come out with the same energy they came out against New England?
I do, man. It's very hard for me to sit back and tell you a team's going to come out slow and flat. I never expect a team to come out slow and flat, unless I can really, really tell that's that there's nothing there from it. Like the Heat, for example, I expect them to come out slow and flat many times, and they do. The Dolphins slow and flat many times. Inter Miami, it's just kind of different feel sometimes because they want to start so fast and kind of kill you in that first half that I expect them to come out quick and hard hitting for the first 45.
Okay, so I imagine you're always expecting 3 points.
Look,
or do you just not want to lose against this team?
I don't want to lose against this team. I really don't want to lose against Atlanta, especially at home. So let's go out and get a victory. Make my life easier.
Okay, so game against Atlanta, I want your thoughts on a couple of things. Number one, not a few hours ago, I want to say, a couple of hours ago, the U.S. under-20 team disposed of Italy to advance to the quarterfinals of the under-20 World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
In that game, a player for the USA scored 2 goals. None other than Benjamin Cremaschi, former player, Inter Miami. God, watching that and watching the first game in which he had a hat trick, given I think the U.S. scored 9 in that game, but had a hat trick nonetheless. I kept thinking to myself, man, if Inter Miami had one of those, I think they'd be okay. And then I remembered, oh yeah, Inter Miami did have one of those. And he came out and said, listen, I think I'm being mismanaged. And Inter Miami as a franchise chose a dirt poor, useless coach over a valuable asset as a homegrown player in Benjamin Kremaski. I want your thoughts on his form in this under-20 World Cup.
I mean, he's just being utilized in the right position as a central midfielder. He's not used wide as a wide midfielder and a right wing at times, and asked to do things that he's not, technically gifted at. He's a good box-to-box midfielder. He's finding himself in scoring opportunities, making runs into the box, and playing defense in the middle and recovering balls and giving them to their playmakers. And he's one of their playmakers themselves. It's about putting players in places to succeed. If you put Chris Paul at the power forward position, is he going to succeed?
No. He barely well, at his age, he barely succeeds at the point guard position right now.
But there you go. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yes. No, 100%. So
if you put Mo Salah as a left winger, is he going to succeed?
No.
There you go.
So then this is the question that I was getting at. What does it say about this franchise that, man, they've become so dysfunctional. They've become this circus clown show that if you tell me right now the hierarchy of Miami sports, it probably goes Panthers, Hurricanes, Heat, Dolphins, Marlins, Inter Miami.
In terms of front office?
In terms of franchise as a whole.
Yeah, Inter Miami hasn't won anything.
Who?
They haven't won anything, so yeah.
Well, no, forget won anything. Just so
in terms of cohesion and what's going. I mean, I'm then at that point. Then I'm putting Dolphins second to last. The Marlins have a better group than the Dolphins, and it's very hard. You're going to argue against me.
No. At the moment, you're at 100% right. But take a body of work of the last 3 years.
Yes.
I think that.
Well, the Marlins have a playoff appearance and
okay.
Have come back from they granted we give them a lot of flack for not spending money and rightfully so and being cheap, but that's the business side and that's the ownership and that's the players and the manager. They get all the support from me because those guys are put out there to play.
The Marlins get. I feel like the city gets such a bad rap for not being a baseball town, but the Marlins get so much support from everyone because everyone wants them to succeed and everyone feels like they can't get out of their own way. And it feels like we're ready to support them because the Dolphins get all of that support and they spit in our face. The Heat, I feel like, earned the support and loyalty they've gotten so far. And the Panthers, the Panthers are just the class of all of professional sports at the moment. But I feel like Inter Miami has almost Marlins themselves out of support in this city. We want to support. We want them to win. But I feel like they've gone out of their way to, I feel like, spit in the face of fans and just, is that I can't even say because it's not a money grab because they're mismanaging finances. What was it that they sold? International roster spots? They bought and sold twice at losses?
Yes.
So I can't even say it's a money grab. Just what are your overall thoughts of just them being the worst franchise?
It's no transparency within the organization. Who's pulling the strings? Is it Guillermo Hoyos? Is it someone else? What's going on? Because I don't know how like I've said this before. You've had David Beckham play world class football for world class organizations and world class teams, and he's sitting there quiet, not being able to dissect what's wrong with this team on the pitch and what's wrong with Inter Miami. I find it to be a load of crap, to be honest.
You feel like David Beckham at some point has to put his foot down and just be like, end this bullshit and just kind of put his finger on the scales?
He's one of them. Yeah, he's got to be one of them because I don't see how as a professional footballer who's been with Sir Alex Ferguson and some great man and great players along his side, and he playing in the MLS and knowing the league and what it kind of what it takes to win wherever he goes, and it's very difficult that he has that it feels like there's nothing being asked of him to help right now.
And it's almost like having a resource.
why is his word so kind of like mushed, like hushed?
You feel like Inter Miami has this valuable resource that they are almost purposefully ignoring, and
it feels like.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying it's true, but that's just my gut feeling.
Do you think changes are coming at the end of the season, regardless of result, or is it going to be the same circus next year? I'm not asking you to predict it. I'm asking you.
I don't know
what your feelings are.
I feel like there is some change, because I just don't think that this circus can go on like the constant not knowing who to bring in, the constant players out, of quality players out, and not the quality brought in. I think there's got to be some sort of change going on.
Okay. Do you think there's a restructuring at all? Front office one.
I think it may be silent, but we could see some restructuring and silent people getting moving on, relieved of their duties, and then other players, not other players, but other people stepping up, and maybe brought in silence, and it's not a big deal. And then lo and behold, so and so is our sporting director now, and these are the moves he wants to make.
Right. So that's kind of the place where I wanted to go. Where do you think they need a rock there? Because I do.
Yeah,
I think they need a stabilizer.
Yeah, Chris Henderson was their stabilizer.
Right.
And they let him go.
I feel like
you need someone.
You need that. Brought all these ideas, all these names, and he's like, dumb, no, dumb. And now he's gone, and everything is just getting rubber stamped, approved. And it's just dumb decision after dumb decision after dumb decision.
Yeah. I think you definitely need someone who knows the game there, who can, really has an eye for talent and an eye for a player who can be useful to this team going forward.
How about someone who knows how to navigate the MLS financial process?
Yeah, you need that as well. Because the MLS has so many regulations, so many roster rules, with so many financial,
avenues
to navigate through that. You need someone who knows it.
I agree. Okay, so at least we're both on the same page there. So that leads me to my next topic. Tomorrow, U.S. men's national team straps up against Ecuador. What do you want to see from that team?
A direct style of play. I don't want to have our direct style of play from the back line to the attack line. I need to see something that gives me any sense of structure and tactical adjustment and tactical idea to how we're going to play and how we want to play going into the World Cup. It needs to start now, because you have that, and then you have a very you have 80% of your top guys in this camp, I believe.
Somewhere
More
there.
like somewhere in the 80s, maybe high 70s, but
I think it's about 75. I think a quarter of the guys aren't here.
But I need to see, some sort of structure with this team.
And some of these guys don't belong on the roster, period.
No. So.
Okay. So that's something to look forward to. Something to look forward to tomorrow. So Inter Miami plays Atlanta United on Saturday, big game. U.S. men's national team plays tomorrow. I believe we are waiting on, and I just want to verify, I believe we are waiting on the opponent for the Under-20 World Cup. Nope. Yeah, we're waiting on who plays. Oh, Morocco is up 1-0 against Korea. It looks like we're going to play Morocco, which is the favorite to win this tournament, or one of the favorites. So, hopefully we'll get a result whenever it is that they play, which would be Sunday. Something to look forward to other than a Dolphin loss.
Yeah. We're not winning Sunday, so.
All right. So, anything else before we kind of hit the hay here?
Panthers are back in action.
They sure are.
For that. So, go Cats.
Yeah, Panthers, Cat Fever. Couple of guys out, so it should be an interesting season. Our depth should kind of shine here in the next, for this, at least for the regular season. We should get Chucky in January-ish.
Late January, somewhere in February.
Yeah, and then Barkov is a possibility for the playoffs in the most
dire need,
optimistic of timelines, but it appears he will be done for the season. But yeah, check out the Cats, check out Inter Miami, check out the U.S. men's national team, check out the under-20s, and we'll see you guys next week. For Heat games, make sure you check out the live stream with Deron Butler. For if you can't watch the game on TV, just tune into YouTube, and Deron has you covered with everything Miami Heat during home games. Anything else?
I'm good.
All right. Well, for everyone here at Kendall Sports Network, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.